Now, Calhoun, I got some huge news that's coming down right now. Huge news that's coming down right now, Calhoun.
Guarantee nobody else knows about this.
Nobody in the country knows about this except me. Hulk Hogan fired from the WCW late last night. Now, this is not a work. This is not nothing. Hogan made $12 million with WCW last year. Nobody in the country knows this except me.
Now, do we know why?
Yeah. They're doing the complete restructure. Turner has lost so much money, and they're cutting from the top. And they look, they looked at payroll, and they saw Hogan made $12 million, and they could get 20 wrestlers for $12 million. But
20 suck-ass wrestlers.
You're going to get 20 jabronis that nobody knows. With the fame and notoriety comes a price, and they had to pay it to get Hogan. And God love you, Hogan, for getting that money while you can. Now, brother, go back to where it all started and make the WWF the hottest goddamn thing. Well, it's the hottest thing now, brother, but make it even hotter.
Can you imagine? And we know Randy
Savage called me yesterday, and I was busy all day today. Didn't get back to him. That was probably the news. I guarantee you, Savage and Hogan will be back with WWF. I should try to call Hogan right now.
Yeah.
This is monumental. He's never been fired. He always leaves on his own terms.
And we'll find out, if there's anything we're missing.
Hello.
Hogan, Bubba.
Yo, brother, what's happening?
How you doing, brother?
Good, dude.
We're live on the radio. Is that cool?
Oh, yeah, cool, brother. Always cool, you.
Can we talk?
Sure, man.
Big news coming down. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, I know the deal.
I can't believe it.
Do you want to explain to us what happened, or do you want us to...
Nobody in the world's got this news, Hollywood.
Well, sounds like you got it, brother.
Well, I got it, but I think it's the coolest thing ever because I think that you can finally go be free and you'll get your money. You know that. First of all, Hogan, for the last 10 years, Hogan has never wrestled for the money.
No.
I mean, $12 million is $12 million. I wouldn't mind having $12 million, but I mean, Hogan could quit tomorrow and he's going to still make his jet payment, if there's even a payment on the jet.
No, brother, jet's paid for.
I'm just telling you right now, it's not the money gimmick. I hope you go work for Vince, Hollywood.
Well, brother, options are open. I'm kind of like checking things out, and I still got a year and a half on this contract with Turner. But, I'm wide open for suggestions. If I could slide away out of this contract and do my own thing, or just go to Maui and open my parasailing company, or sell the Pontiac Silverdome out wrestling Vince McMahon or Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hollywood's wide open, brother.
Can you imagine Can you imagine Hollywood Hulk Hogan taking on Vince or Stone Cold? Hogan, you would have an 80 or 90,000 person gate.
Well, things are wide open. I mean, we got these two writers that just came down from New York. I guess Vince McMahon worked him to death, and they didn't have enough guts to ask Vince for more money or get under contract, so they were free birds, and they slid down here in the wake of all the murky waters, and they made a deal with Bill Bush to come in and start writing for WCW. I was all excited about meeting them, bro, so I flew up to Biloxi, Mississippi real early because I wanted to sit down with these guys creatively and see what was going to go down, because I figured, man, now here's a chance for us to play catch-up ball.
Right.
And I walked in and met the guys, and when I walked in the booking room, all the brothers in there, from Nash and Hall, and not Hall, Kevin Nash and Kevin Sullivan and Dusty Rhodes and Bill Bush, and I walked in, all of a sudden it was like, they were holding court. When I walked in, it was like dead silence.
Wow.
And I sat down, and I was going to, said hello, shook hands with the guys, and as I shook hands with them, they looked down. They really couldn't look me in the eye, so, I figured I was interrupting something. But anyway, they had to go out and look at the ring because they wanted to see Dustin Rhodes' new entrance,
Right.
And then about a half hour later, I got with them. I said, hey, man, what's going on? And they all took off again. I grabbed Kevin Nash. I said, hey, bro, what's the deal? What are we doing tonight? What's going down at Halloween Havoc? And Kevin Nash says, the two new guys, they're doing all the finishes for Halloween Havoc.
Right.
And I said, that's cool.
And you're like, what's my finish?
Yeah, no doubt.
Right.
Of course, I've got creative control, and I tell them what I'm doing anyway.
Exactly.
So, I just wanted to hear what they had to say. I finally got with them a half hour later, and they said, yeah, well, we want you to put Sting over at Halloween Havoc, in about 2 minutes.
Right.
I said, yo, brother, I just did the job for him last month. I said, I don't mind doing another job, but
right.
It's all about storyline and where we're going with this thing.
Yeah, you don't want to
Sting again.
I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass, Hollywood. But Hollywood Hogan doesn't do a 2-minute crush match, please.
Well, I wouldn't mind doing it if we're talking about doing something big, like if Goldberg was turning heel or Nash and Hall were going to beat my ass, and there was a reason to carry on.
Well, there's some storyline behind it, some rhyme and reason.
Exactly. So anyway, I basically said, well, that's cool. What are we doing? They said, well, creatively, we don't have any ideas. And I said, whoa. What do you mean creatively you don't have any ideas? If we're doing this, there must be a reason for it. They said, creatively, you don't have any ideas, and that's what we want to do. I said, well, let me think about it for a minute. So I grabbed Bill Bush, who's supposed to be the big boss now.
Right.
I said, what's the deal with the finish here at Halloween Havoc? And he says, well, Terry, these guys are in control now, and I've given them the ball to run with it, and I'm going to let them run with it unless they mess up.
Well, that's a hell of
So I said, what you're telling me, brother, is they're calling the finish here, and you're going to let them do what they want, and if they make a mistake, you'll fire them later. He goes, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I said, well, brother, I've been around the block a few times, 20 years invested in this name and this business, and they want me to do this for Sting. They're telling me that they have no creative ideas for me after Halloween Havoc. That doesn't work for the brother here.
No, well, I mean, and Hogan, you can see the writing on the wall. You're not some, wet behind the ears green jabroni.
So the bottom line, I went out to do an interview. Didn't expect it, so it kind of caught me off guard. So I went out about 10 minutes later to do an interview. After I did the interview, I said, you know something? Scrizoo these biz astards. I started to walk away from Mean Gene. I turned back to the microphone. I said, you know something, brother? I got something else to say. We'll see who gets the last laugh at Halloween Havoc.
I can't. This is unbelievable.
Well, it's cool, brother. It's standard procedure. It's the wrestling business. It's cool.
Yeah, but Hogan, I just can't understand how, of all persons to get swerved, you. I mean, they're like almost kayfabing you a little bit.
Well, they didn't want to look me in the eye and tell me, like a man, what they have.
I mean, exactly.
It's obvious that they talk.
It's cool. It's kind of like I went there really early because I want to meet these guys because I knew they were right on the cutting edge of this business, and hopefully if they could adjust their style, the WCW would give us a heck of a chance. So I went there early, all excited, and it's kind of like I've never met Jesus Christ and I've never met Charles Manson, and either one of these guys may be a nice as hell guy, but until you meet them, you never know who you're meeting.
Exactly.
And they had, I guess, already predetermined what they thought of me, and they really never even gave me a chance to sit down and talk with them. So it was cut and dry, and that's what they wanted. I said, okay, brothers, I'm glad that's what you want, but you don't understand.
Who you're messing with.
You're messing with the wrong brother because in writing, etched in stone, is I have power over Ted Turner. If Ted Turner says, Hulk Hogan, we want you to lose the Disco Inferno, if we want you to do a job for, my wife, I can say no.
But Hogan, now you've been, I have to interject there, Hogan. We've all been known to do jobs for Linda. Now, we got to put Linda over.
Oh, I'll put her over, but just watch Halloween Havoc, and I'm going to do what I want to do there.
Oh.
I just feel sorry for the innocent party, Sting. He's got nothing to do with this thing. I just feel real bad that he's in the line of fire.
Because I know you and Sting are good friends. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy, but I hope he understands that this is business, and I got to do what I got to do.
And you know what, Hogan? I think if you went to Sting and you talked to him about, you're setting yourself up for the next gig, and you got to do what you got to do, and you know what? I don't think Sting have a problem with it.
No, well, I love Sting to death. I just hope that they don't feed his head full of crap and try to talk him into being Superman or anything.
Well, you know what would suck, too, also? You guys are going out there working, trying not to hurt each other, and all of a sudden some shooting start going on. You know what I'm saying? That would suck, too.
Yeah, that definitely wouldn't work for Sting.
I mean, no, it wouldn't work for you. It wouldn't work for him. Obviously, you'd kick his ass in a shoot, but I'm just saying you might want to have some boys ringside ready to go.
No. No. I'm part of the brotherhood there, man. They're all with me. There's a few new guys who don't like Hulk Hogan. There's a few guys who are happy that this happened, but the bottom line is
if there's a shoot,
bottom line is you can put everybody on that roster on one side of the page, and you can put Hulk Hogan on the other. I can turn this into my own angle and attract more media attention than their whole company together.
Oh, exactly. And if it turns into a shoot, Hulk Hogan's going to win the shoot. I guarantee you.
But what it is, like the brother man, Macho Man says, what it is what it is.
Yeah, that's my boy right there, Hogan. Hogan, now also rumors that, Vince McMahon Jr. was on the phone 16, 18 minutes after it happened.
Well, brother, it's been pretty crazy. I've had a lot of calls coming this way. Everybody's expecting me to show up on Raw, next week. The bottom line is I've got a contract with Ted Turner, but brother, it's really wild. The options are bouncing off the wall. There's a chance to really swing the pendulum of this wrestling business in whatever direction I want now. So,
well, Hogan, for the first time, you may not be contractually obligated if they let you out, and you could go do your own federation, Hogan.
Yeah, well, I was talking with some people about that yesterday. The Fox Network is looking for 1 hour of rock hard, solid wrestling. That would be a pretty easy thing to do to produce an hour of kick-ass wrestling. There's a lot of people, like the WWF is doing so much TV now, they can't go overseas. The WCW is doing so much TV, they can't go overseas. There's billions and billions of dollars of revenue overseas if you had a good tape together.
And there's one guy that's recognized overseas. I'm sorry, that's you, Hogan.
Yeah, well, the options are wide open, but it's going to be real interesting to see how this thing plays out, because yesterday I wasn't taking calls, and I had 4 messages from Harvey Schiller, 3 messages from Bill Bush calling the house, and I just said, my wife Linda was going, why don't you call him back? And I said, no, just let him sit for a while and think about this thing.
Hollywood, why they still got you booked on the Havoc if you told them it's done?
No, I didn't tell them it was done.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they still have me booked on Havoc, and I'm contractually obligated.
Oh, for the payday.
To wrestle 6 pay-per-views a year.
Right.
And the bottom line is, when I show up there, if I say I want to stack the whole territory up in a pile and sit on them, and win the belt and beat every guy in the dressing room in one night, as they all come down to the ring to interfere, if I want to stack them all up and beat them, I can do that. And if they don't do it, I'll have my man Henry Holmes hit them with one of them big old
lawsuits. So the bottom line is, you're going to control your finish at Halloween Havoc. I would love to see a whole pileup of the territory. That would be the awesomest.
See, the first original reports we heard is that they had a big meeting and then they said, look, that they don't need your services anymore. That's the internet rumor that's going crazy.
Yeah, well, they don't understand it about the contractual. I mean, not the contractual obligation of the pay-per-view. They don't understand about the creative control.
Right.
Bottom line is, it's etched in Hogan's contract. He can control his destiny and he can control his finish at any time, and that kicks ass. Hogan, thank God for you getting that. I know that Vince doesn't pay as much. Theoretically, he doesn't have. All the boys went over to WCW for bigger paydays, but Hogan could take less money and get guaranteed pay-per-view, Hogan, and sell out 80 and 90,000 seat venues and make more than what you're making now.
Yeah, well, the money does matter, and I never will say that the money doesn't matter, but you know what? There's also a principle involved here, and every once in a while you got to bend somebody over and spank them and teach them a lesson, and it just might be that time.
But Hogan, let's just face it, and I know you good enough, brother, that if you had to take a little less money to go work for Vince and get some merchandising rights and some non-guaranteed money based on you working your ass off and packing some seats just to kick WCW's ass, I know you'd do it because you can do it.
Well, brother, there's all kind of creative ways to structure deals. I mean, I've structured deals making movies where I barely have enough money to buy my lunch during the movie, and I make so much money on the backside.
Exactly.
It's cool. There's all kind of ways to structure deals, and I'm wide open, man.
I mean, Hogan, can you imagine just the merchandising money alone with the return back to Vince's company? I mean, the merchandise alone, Hogan, would make you $5-6 million.
Well, shoot, all I got to do is shave my head and be Stone Cold's partner.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine Stone Cold and Hollywood as tagged? I mean, see, you're 4 steps ahead of us.
I'm looking for the big Hogan-Undertaker match.
Hogan's 5 steps ahead of us as far as, swerves and angles and everything. That's the way he thinks. Wow. Hogan, God love you, brother.
It's cool, brother. Everything's cool, man.
No, but I'm just excited for you, and I appreciate you giving me the scoop. It just shows you how good of buddies we are.
No, we're cool, brother. We're cool.
Tell Nitro Nick we said hi, and did you hear the hockey coach talking about you that day?
No, I missed it, brother. I need to hook up with him, man. I need that Lightning. I got to get behind him. I need to be what Spike Lee was to the Knicks. I need to be there whenever they're at home.
Steve Ludzik, the head coach for the Lightning, said, like the first game, he said, I heard you were friends with Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I've heard him on your show before. And I'm like, yep. And he goes, you tell him. And I told him that your son, skated down at Sunblades and that he's very active in hockey. He says, you tell Hollywood and his son Nitro Nick that we got a couple of Lightning hockey sweaters for him down here, and they're welcome to the locker room anytime. So I was supposed to tell you that.
Oh, cool, brother. Be cool, guys.
Keep us posted.
There you go.
I guarantee you that we're the only media outlet in the world that just got that scoop. And not only got the scoop, Cowhead, but got the total non-kayfabe, non-internet rumored scoop about what really happens as far as Hogan being able to control his own destiny. God love Hulk Hogan, Cowhead, for being Bubba friendly and being our good friend. He truly is our friend, Cowhead, because I guarantee he wouldn't pick up the phone and talk to anybody except us.
And the WCW continues to make moves like jackasses.